Could you guys hear the screaming and the screeching from downstairs? Yes.
Hello?
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 Is it just my... Oh!
We're back. Based on what you can hear, where do you think Australian fans rank in the world?
You go. Oh, yeah, like 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
for sure.
10. This is so exciting. As you can tell, you can feel the energy in the room, and I've said it before, but in under 60 seconds, this event sold out. And I was on the Prime Instagram seeing people being like, oh, can I buy the tickets off you? I'll pay you whatever, how much money. So you got such massive fans here, and it's such a delight that you were all showing this love. Whose first time is it in Sydney? You too.
Me and Rain.
Okay.
First time, yeah, sorry. First time.
Have you done anything in Sydney that's fun?
We went to the zoo.
Fed a giraffe today.
We fed a giraffe. We went
we made some
shopping
friends. Yeah, we went
at the intersection, and that was really cool. We saw really beautiful views. We went to Bondi Beach. I think we did a lot.
Yeah, we've done a lot.
Love that. The zoo's a good one. My favorite is the monkeys. Did you see the monkeys?
Yes.
The little ones?
We saw chimps.
They were so cute.
The tiny
we saw the tiny
ones.
monkeys.
What are they called?
Monkey.
A monkey.
No.
Right.
Okay. Jenny, we need to start at the beginning. When writing the books all those years ago, could you ever have imagined, firstly, the popularity worldwide, and secondly, that it would have turned into a series that's this big?
I really couldn't. I mean, it was, so the books, I think I started writing the books maybe 2007 or something, and so it's been a long time, and I was really young. I was like in my 20s when I was writing them, and now here we are in Australia with these two lovely ladies. It's just been an incredible journey. It's really fun.
And when was the moment that you knew that the series was going to be as popular as it is?
I think, oh, whoa, there's people out there too. Hey guys! I think it really was when we were selling the books globally. There were a lot of other countries that wanted to get the rights to the book. And then I would get a lot of fan mail from readers all around the world who were saying they loved Belly and her story. And I think it's because there's something very relatable about this kind of summer romance at the beach and coming into your own as a young woman and coming into your power. That's really what inspired me to write the story.
Has anyone here had a summer romance ever? Yeah? Might need to get you to come and tell your story. And what was the moment that you knew that it had become this like global phenomenon? Because obviously the third season has become even bigger.
Well, you've been saying it feels a little different on the third season, right?
Yeah, I mean, when we got here, we were shopping and walking around, and we were so surprised, like how many people came up to us and said hello and said that they loved the show. It was really awesome.
I was like, they know us here.
I know. Very warm welcome.
So cool,
yeah. Super nice. We love it here. I actually am so sad to leave.
Me too.
Like, the food has been delicious. People are so nice. We love this weather.
10 out of 10.
Even the rain.
Even the
yes,
rain.
love
Even the
the weather for you.
Cozy.
And we had people even here tonight lining up since 10 a.m. Like,
rain.
Wow.
yeah, umbrellas hanging
Thanks
out.
for being here.
So, Lola and Rain, I want to ask you both. What has it been like stepping into roles that already had a passionate fan following since a very long time ago? And how did you balance honouring the characters that the readers know while also adding your own flair to the characters?
Yeah, I mean, it was, a big undertaking, and it was a little bit scary, but I think the beautiful thing about it is, Jenny really allowed us to sort of, keep the heart of the characters, but then bring our own take to them and sort of continue to expand them and their worlds. And it was really cool to find that balance, and it's cool that everybody sort of accepted our versions of these characters. It's been really cool to.
And I can
grow with
guarantee you, I know people get frustrated with Belly at times, but if it wasn't Lola playing this character, people would be like, it would be, because you're so lovable and lovely, and you bring so much of yourself to this character. You say something, Rain?
Okay, I'll say something. I think I'm just so grateful, I think especially this season, to have Taylor's character be expanded, and you get to like see a bit of her life and her mom and stuff. And I'm appreciative of that, Jenny. I think that's very, it was very fun to do that. And I really love Taylor and this character, and we've like grown up with them, you know. It's been 4 years, so yeah, so I think her story was a bit expanded because it wasn't all in the book, so it's been really fun to do that.
Taylor's story was one that I was really excited to dig into, and the opportunity to have more space to do it in the show is probably one of the my favorite things about the show, honestly. And so even when we were casting you, and I said to you, like, you only are in a few episodes in the first season, but like I'm really envisioning like a whole journey for you for the second. So
Yeah, what was that like auditioning, going back a little bit? Like, do you remember when you put down your auditions?
Yeah, I remember. Sorry. I remember taping it and just being like, had one of those moments. You do so many auditions as an actor. I feel like you just do audition, like tape after tape. And I remember with this one, I was like, I'm just gonna try something. And like, I'm just gonna kind of, like, I'm not gonna try and get it right. And so I sort of like added, I don't know, I don't know what I did, but I just attempted the character. And then I like went into the other room and looked in myself in the mirror, and I was like, I feel like I could do this, actually. I was like, I feel like I could play her. Yeah, I don't know. Shit. I mean, I just had a moment with myself in the mirror. You know what I mean? And I was so grateful that Jenny cast me.
We're so lucky.
Oh, thanks, Jenny.
We are so lucky to have her.
Thanks, Jenny.
We had been far down the road with somebody else, and they dropped out the last minute because of a different scheduling thing. So I was like, what are we gonna do? This character is so important to me. So it felt like lucky piece of magic to find Rain, because oftentimes with casting, you know, you get sent people in the beginning, and then you go, okay, I'm not seeing it yet, can you send me more? And then they do another like sweep, and then you're getting a little bit panicked because you still haven't found that person. But then sometimes they'll come up in a later batch, and you're like, where were they, you know, 2 rounds ago? And it can really be about timing and luck, and when somebody, I guess, hears about the project.
And you?
Yeah, I mean, I was in my first year of college, and I was like, I got the tape and did it with my roommates in my apartment, and then the process was pretty quick, and it was like all these Zoom chemistry reads, and I remember doing my Zoom read with Rain, and I was like, this is it, this is perfect. You just feel it, you know, you feel like when it's the right thing, and I knew that it was gonna be a good match. It's a good match.
And it very much comes across on the screen. I heard when you were doing your meet and greets, 2 women came up and said that you remind each other of them. I thought, oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it's so sweet.
Yeah. Jenny, as both an author and a showrunner, how do you balance staying true to the source material while creating something fresh for television?
It is a balance. I think the long-time, diehard original fans of the story have certain expectations and hopes for things, and then, you know, I'm also coming to this wanting to tell a version of the story, and I think you just have to follow your own sort of compass and always like listen to your voice. And I think that goes across the board, right? Where when you're creating something and you are an artist, you have to be happy with what you're making at the end of the day. And now I think things have changed so much with having social media, and you never really get to sort of like completely turn off from hearing other people's like opinions about you, like as a person or the thing that you're making. And I think in order to be really brave and put yourself out there and take chances and take those wild swings, you cannot be thinking, what are people going to say, or are they going to be happy or not? Because at the end of the day, you have to be happy.
100%. And I think people like having opinions. Like, I know when you were watching the trailer before, there was definitely some interesting feelings and opinions, and there's a few t-shirts I can see in the audience that maybe suggest some favourites, possibly. Are there any moments or storylines in the TV series that you now prefer compared to what you wrote in the book?
I think that in my mind, I don't think of it that way. I think of them sort of two different, they're like, I guess look at it like side by side in that way. I mean, sometimes when we're doing a scene that is really directly from the book, then I really want to make it feel really accurate, and I'll be like a stickler about trying to get the words book accurate, because I think people really have lived with these characters and these stories for a long time, and they hear the voices, and especially now when I had asked Lola and the guys to narrate the audiobooks, I really wanted people to hear their voices and associate them with the characters before they even met them. And so we did that before the first season came out, just to get people already thinking of them as the characters. But, wait, what was the question?
You're asking the wrong person. I'm dissociating. No.
Okay. I will say I really loved the Deb Ball, and that was something new on the show. And I think at first fans were like, "Why are you guys doing a Deb Ball?" And it wasn't in the books or whatever. And then I think people really do love that story, right? I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
What was it like doing the audiobook?
Oh, it was super fun. It was like a couple days of just rereading the books, which is always helpful.
So you reread it before you did it, or were you reading it as you were?
Well, I had read it.
Read it when you got cast.
Yes, and then that was the first reread since then. But it was like a really good. It was nice to hear it out loud too, because I don't sit there reading out loud to myself. So it was like it was nice to read it out loud, and also to like refresh my memory before we went, because I did it right before we filmed season 2, I think. I think that's right, because season 1 came out when we were filming. Yeah, so I think it was nice to refresh my memory before we had to do.
That's cool.
I remember, and I mean, these book scenes are so specific, like in season 2, like the Conrad Belly hot cocoa flashback. Yes, that one. I think there was one line, it was like just a couple of words, but I think I probably said it 70 times. Like it was, it was like about
on the day when we were filming it? Yeah, I remember that.
I forget.
It was like, why are you like all the way over there?
Something like that, yeah. And it was like, just making sure that it was so perfect and fine-tuning it. So it's a lot of care that goes into those scenes.
When you were doing the audiobook, though, were you thinking of it, when you were reading it, how much of it was like acting in the sense of like giving full performance?
I mean, I think it's like acting, but in a different way, because I'm playing all the characters. Like I got to, be a little bit of
That's interesting.
Conrad, a little bit of Jeremiah.
Yeah. Do you think it helped like inform anything for you when you were sort of embodying them as an actor?
Jenny's taking over the questions over here.
I'm curious.
Maybe. I didn't really think about that before, but maybe it's nice to sort of like get in their heads a little bit and like find their voices.
Because a lot of actors do voice work and they do like audiobooks, and it is acting. Yeah. So that's interesting, because people always ask like, if you could play any other character on the show, who would it be? And then you kind of have.
Yeah. I played all of them, so.
Yeah.
And speaking of characters, I want to ask you both this. How have your characters evolved over the 3 seasons?
I think they've both evolved so much, and it's nice to sort of watch them grow together and to watch their friendship grow. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. We've been saying this a lot in the past few days, but yeah, I think it's a really beautiful thing to get to grow with your character and sort of start around the same. I was a couple years older than Belly when we started, but then when we were filming it, I was 21 and she was 21. And so it's like really special to get to go on that journey and kind of see where you mirror each other as you grow together. And I think Belly has very much come into her own, and I think, she was the youngest, so everyone kind of took care of her, and she's become a little bit of a, like, caretaker herself, and also like I think I hear the laughs out there, and you know she learns how that fits into her relationship, yeah, and has sort of come to know all these people in her life in a different way, and she's still got that sort of spark and determination and boldness that she's always had, but I think you just, I don't know, it's like you just see it in a more mature way, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my vision always for the books had been, originally I was going to just do one book and have it be, I really wanted to see all these summers in one girl's life as she grew up. But then I called my editor and I was like, I don't think I can do it all in one book. I think I need like more space to do it. And at the time, there really weren't trilogies of realistic fiction. It was all more in the like fantasy space, like Twilight and books like that. And so it was a little bit unusual to do it for a realistic series. And but I think for the show, we've been able to do that, and you've been able to see Belly, even season 1, where she's a homebody. In the pilot, you see things begin to change for her and want to be kind of out in the world a bit more. And I think for Taylor, like, you know, one thing that's so interesting to me is like between season 1 and season 2, a lot of stuff happens that we don't see in real time, but like losing Susanna was a really big thing that even for Taylor, who was affected by it because she loves Belly so much. So I think she grew up a lot in that, right? In the inner.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think Taylor's grown a lot from season 1 to season 3. Like, I mean, there's also like major time jumps. So there's growth no matter what, because it's like 16 to like early 20s. But yeah, I think for Taylor specifically, she masks. What is this? Ding ding. I'm like focus problems. Maybe not. I don't know. Who cares? Yes. So Taylor shields herself. Like, you know, she masks her insecurities in different ways, and like everyone does that differently. It manifests differently for everyone, and for her, I think she gets a little louder, and she gets a little bit more opinionated, and sometimes, you know, like not super nice, maybe, but like she still comes from a good place, but it's just like harsh to someone who might be more sensitive. But it's her masking her own sensitivity. I think she's really sensitive, so I think over all the time, she is growing. And she's learning how to be more vulnerable, and Steven's helping with that. I think she's really scared of that. And so she's hurting people in season 3, you know, there's a little bit of hurting, you know, that's manifesting in that way, which is human. Ultimately, I think Jenny is really good at creating 3D characters that are not perfect and that are making mistakes. And that's, yeah.
Well, I mean, one thing I love about Taylor is that she really rides hard for her best friend.
Yeah.
And
I think they both do for each other.
no, they did.
No. That was not me being
We're
defensive.
talking about Taylor right
that was
now,
not
okay?
me. No. But that was not me being defensive. That was me trying to be like, I think, no, because we always say like Taylor's supporting Belly, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. But I think like I don't want
Belly
it to seem
does
like,
too.
you know, Taylor's always going like this and Belly's like that's, you know, I think the
No,
beautiful
Belly-
thing is that you get to see them both kind of
Yeah, friendship is
hold each
both-
other. Yeah. Well,
And
now I.
No,
It's
that's
a nice
not me
mirror.
saying
I'm just kidding. But it's a nice mirror of the Susanna Laurel friendship. And then, which, after losing Susanna, I think that to be able to still see a beautiful friendship between 2 young women is very special.
Over the season, I'm just going to let you go. I quite like this, you just telling this yourself. Over the seasons, we've seen the dynamics between Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah evolve significantly, to say the least. What moments of the love triangle have been the most pivotal for you as an actor, and how did you approach them?
I mean, they're most pivotal. I mean, so many of the book scenes are really, really important moments. I was like, what is that? Ooh, water break.
The water. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Well, thank you. Cheers, everyone. Oh, thank you. Wow. Thanks, guys.
Was she doing the same thing?
I don't know.
I feel like we're at a beach club, actually.
Oh
Let's
my
do
God.
pina coladas.
Stay hydrated, everyone. Pivotal moments. Yeah, I mean, there's so many. Their relationships are kind of a roller coaster, and I think they all have such big feelings that, especially when they were younger, they didn't really know how to deal with, and were very much kind of figuring out on the spot, all of them. And I think, you know, now it's a little different because Belly and Jeremiah have been together for so long, and forming that relationship was really interesting this year. Like, what does a 4-year relationship look like with these people who have also known each other their whole lives, and who have a very complicated relationship as well, and who have gone through so much together and experienced a really big loss, and then also, you know, like, family is so complicated. And so I think beyond like pivotal moments in the show, it's like, again, what are we not seeing that you want to still feel in the show? So that was really important. And then, you know, even like on Conrad's side of that, they haven't seen him for a couple years, so knowing that that relationship has changed as well, and how often do they talk, and what does that feel like and look like now? So that was really interesting to tackle this season, I think.
What side of Belly does each brother bring out?
I think they both bring out wonderful qualities of Belly's. I think Jeremiah brings out a very fun side of Belly. You see them smiling and laughing together all the time because, you know, they go on like fun dates, and they're the type of couple that's dancing and singing together at the party like nobody else is there, you know? It's just kind of them, and that's a really beautiful thing, and they lean on each other. Jeremiah is able to be really vulnerable with Belly, and like kind of sometimes be, you know, like the baby, which is like it's just like he's able to sort of open up to her in that way, and she sort of takes care of him a little bit. And I think that can sometimes be sweet that Jeremiah doesn't feel like he has to sort of be like, I don't know, always. They both take care of each other, sort of. But anyway, yeah, it's a very sweet relationship that we spent a lot of time, I think, talking about and crafting together. And they sort of, again, just kind of like with songs and whatever, they've always had that sort of connection where they can like read each other's minds. And then with Conrad, I think he brings out, I don't know, like they're able to have conversations that they don't really have with anybody else, and to get like deep in a sense that they don't with anybody else. And I think, like we see in the Christmas flashback this season, so many Christmas flashbacks, huh? This season, they're able to just be in a room together, like not even look at each other, not talk to each other, and just like be. And I think that's something that's really, really beautiful. And yeah, they just have a sort of comfort level with each other when they are together, I think. That comes from knowing each other for so long and sort of just understanding each other deeply. Yeah. Yeah, what do you think? Anything else to add? I'm just rambling at this point, huh?
No, I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Rain?
What's the
About like what sides the two
Oh,
guys
the
bring
sides.
out in Belly?
yeah, I mean, I guess I just I didn't think you were gonna ask me. I think I think that that was so beautifully put, and
Thank you.
yeah, I think Jeremiah is like the best friend. It's like, you know, kind of like you were saying, like it's the best friend that you grew up with, and I think Conrad. There's more. What, bro? There's more. I I don't want to say like mystery maybe. There's more like, oh, I want to know what he's thinking, and where I feel like Jer is like, here, this is what I'm thinking. No?
Yeah.
That's my. Yeah, it definitely brings out, it's like two sides of the same coin.
Well,
it's like
I think Conrad's more guarded. He's got more walls up, and Jeremiah's like a lot more open.
Yeah.
I would say, and I think also I would say that one thing that was hard in Belly and Conrad's relationship was he had a hard time letting her take care of him or let him in. I think she really does have that side to her that she likes to do that for people, and I think so we see that with her and Jeremiah, that dynamic. I also think as we meet Belly in the pilot, she's somebody who likes to be at home and isn't really the person who's wanting to, go out and in season 1. Yeah. And then we see her kind of stepping into, I don't know, I think of being more kind of outgoing and exploring a bit more, but she, up until that point, was like doing movie nights with the moms and hanging out at home and was a bit in Taylor's shadow. So I think as we meet her in season 3, she's definitely out there a bit more. But then you also get to see those moments, like in the Christmas 2.0, of that she is by nature, I think, somebody who would be very happy to sit there and have a cup of tea and read a book or watch a movie.
The Stephen and Taylor relationship came as a surprise to many fans. Jenny, you've mentioned that adapting the story into a TV series allowed you to explore some of the other characters more deeply. What inspired you to explore this particular pairing in the show?
I mean, yeah, best friend's brother is is really fun. I mean, I remember growing up and you were like spending a night at your friend's house and you're like, the older brother was always like in the room with his like door closed and maybe you would like cross paths as you're like brushing teeth or something and you're just like, I don't know, there's something a little bit aspirational about that to me and just imagining these two girls growing up being best friends and Taylor was like always over there and then I'm sure like Steven's like, put her in a headlock or like farted in her face and like just kind of those
So charming.
yeah big
So
brother
hot.
like best friend things and didn't think of her in that way and then she's such a tough little kid I think but was harboring all that inside and to the point where she didn't even tell Belly that she had those feelings and I think that's a character that struggles to see her worth and to feel worthy of love.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we continue to see, that even after all this time, it's like hard to believe that somebody could like love her. I think 'cause she has like a lot of her own history that I know because, in the writer's room, we talk so much about, as we build the character, why they do the things they do, but it's not that we're getting to see those scenes, but you just know it for each character. So I think, growth isn't linear. I think you can have these big leaps forward, and then you can kind of go back a little bit or take smaller steps forward, and life isn't like just like this, uphill climb that we're all moving in the same direction. And I think she's gone a bit back and forth. In moments of being scared or feeling really vulnerable, then you see her put that old shell comes back up.
Yeah, I think that's exactly, like that's so beautifully put. That's exactly right. I think, yes, growth is not linear. Sometimes you can make progress and feel like, oh, I opened up a bit, or like, I mean, it's just really scary. Like being vulnerable with someone that you really care about is a scary thing. Or like even saying like, I like this, or I don't like, because what if they're like, I don't like that? It's all scary, like really loving someone, and like if this person who I think the world of like doesn't like me, then like what does that say about me? Or these like these ideas or this like thought process that is not true but is so often believed. It's like I am not, if this person, like it's like putting someone, much higher than yourself. It's like either they're up here or they're down here, or I'm up here or I'm down here, when in reality it's like everyone's on the same plane. And it's okay if they say no, or it's okay if they don't like your hair color or whatever it is. But so I think the lesson, or one of the lessons, or something to think about in regard to like Taylor and what she's going through is like, how can I get my self-worth from myself and not from another person, so that I can just be cool no matter what that person says, and then I don't have to hurt people in the process.
Totally. And I think at the beginning of, I think that's really good. At the beginning of the season 2, when he's going, let's just like do this, let's like do it for real, it's so scary to her, because then if you do it and then it doesn't work, then they're just gone. And in this way, I think she gets to keep him in her life in some way, and doesn't have to fully put herself out there if we really like break up.
Yeah, well, it's a control thing too. It's like before you realize that you actually don't have control over like people, places, and things. You just have control over like your second thought, your first action. You don't even have control over the first thought in your head. So it's like trying to manipulate a relationship to make it, to make the person do what you want is like it never works. It does not work.
I like that. Even I've never heard that. You first thought, you can't
You have
help.
control over your second thought and your first action.
Wait, repeat that?
The only thing you have control over is your second thought and your first action.
I really like that. And speaking,
Oh, yeah, no, I like that.
It's a good one.
That's really good.
It's not
'cause,
mine.
like,
But it's a good one.
You
I
came
know,
up
I
with
see
that?
like,
I didn't come up with that.
I want to talk about Belly and Taylor's friendship, because it's weathered some challenges and changes, to say the least. How would you describe the evolution of their friendship?
Wait, what? Sorry.
Like second thought. Yeah. No, I think that's. Sorry, I was still
No,
like
no.
unpacking that, and it matches actually to this therapist I've seen like pop up on my TikToks. Who is talking about how like thoughts are just thoughts that just like float in your mind. So don't put too much,
Yeah.
weight behind them.
Yeah.
They're just like literally just like let them float away. Like you don't have, it doesn't have to define you. This random thought that popped up doesn't mean anything.
You don't have to believe it.
No, you don't. Just let it.
Yeah.
Float.
But practicing that, because I think so like especially when you're a teenager and you don't realize that like what's going on, you don't realize that like you are not. You don't have to believe every thought that comes in your head, because sometimes they're mean,
Just
no?
like they
sometimes
just
they're
pop up
mean.
out of nowhere, like these like
Yeah, and it's not
intrusive
true. It's
sore
like,
thoughts, right?
Yeah,
You
it's
mean
like,
about someone else or yourself or whatever, and you just let it.
yeah, like I was like growing up, like my thoughts.
Sadly, yeah, I still do that, and I'm 30, so I don't really
but
have an
really-
excuse. But I want to talk about the third series, final season. I know, let's all have a communal. Oh. What has the phenomenal success and fan support over the years meant for you?
It's very overwhelming. I mean, and it's something I've been really like appreciative of and thoughtful of, because coming off of To All the Boys of Love before, there was a really big, a lot of love for that and for Noah and Lana, and when the movie came out, it was just like whoa, and there was so much like attention on them, and it's a weird thing to experience. And so going into this, I just was very mindful of that and of wanting these guys to really protect themselves and to we talked about social media and the ways that I think you have to keep some stuff just for you, because once you open it up to everyone, then it's not the same as it once was, and then you want to be able to like live life as you and not be always thinking about other people's like commentary on that,
Yeah, I think it's a balance, but overall, I mean, we had no clue what to expect when we were filming. I think we were just like, we're doing this really awesome thing and it feels special, but who knows what the reaction will be, because you never really know. And it was such like an incredible surprise that people loved it so much, and we're all so grateful for all the love that we get and for how passionate people are about it. And yeah, I mean, it's learning how to like navigate that sort of new public-facing life, but there are a lot of really, I think we all support each other, and we have wonderful people, and I feel like I have wonderful people in my life, and
I think you guys are both really grounded. And, you know, they say that, like, with celebrity, that you kind of, like, people can sort of freeze in time to wherever they were, how old they were when they first got famous. But I would say...
Wait, really? I haven't heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it's a thing that people say, that you kind of, like, almost in a way stop, like...
Really?
Yeah.
I've just never heard that.
Because then your life changes so much, you know? But I would say, for both of you guys, you're both really, like, grounded, like, great people and really mature. Both of you, really mature. That if this is it, then this is great.
Thanks, Jenny.
Like, I'm not worried at all.
I feel like we're having quite deep and almost existential realizations. On
Yeah, this is getting really...
Yeah. Jenny, you love to include Easter eggs in your TV and film projects. Some eagle-eyed fans have already discovered some in the first few episodes from this season. Is there anything we should be paying close attention to?
Everyone's already paying attention to everything. I don't have to tell anybody to do that. People are like detectives and soothsayers, and sometimes they're reading the tea leaves, and it ain't tea. It's just, it's just, you know, not an Easter egg, and sometimes it is. But I do think that I think it's great, and I think I probably won't speak to all of those different Easter eggs, because in the end you want people to interpret it for themselves and to pull what they're going to pull from it. And sometimes, you know, even if it wasn't something intentional on my part, that's what you took from it, and that doesn't make it like invalid.
Finally, to wrap things up.
I know, this is so fun. You guys are great. I'm like,
Yeah, thank you guys.
really.
Give yourselves a round of applause quickly. Yeah. To end things, I would like all three of you to sum up season 3 in 3 words.
This is like the most difficult question.
It's very difficult.
Jenny,
words
but you have
is
a good
very-
one. Jenny, you have a good one.
Oh. Wait and see. Nobody
So
liked
we
that.
Wait, say it.
Sorry.
Anything else?
I feel like we keep saying like emotional, discovery,
Growth.
growth.
Just like stick with these guys, you know? Stick with them and come with us on this journey.
That's more than 3 words, but
I've
Stick
loved
with
this.
us. That's it. Stick with us.
stick with us.
Who's going to stick with them? That's the spirit. Thank you so much for coming down under and for this chat.
This is so fun.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good vibes.
Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for waiting in line and taking time out of your busy lives to be with us. It's really special. This whole week has been so special. Like, I don't even want to leave. Like, I love
know.
Australia.
You have to come back. You'll come back.
No, it's awesome.
One more round of applause for Jenny, Lola, and Rain.